It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang. Okay, this is gonna be a series of who the fuck did I have a baby by. Okay, so me and my baby daddy met at work. Obviously, I'm in the military. He's also in the military. So, boom, we met in Hawaii. We hung out in Hawaii. That was that. We came back from Hawaii, and we were just chilling. At this time, he had told me that, he had all these businesses and these cars and these homes, and he wasn't married. He was a single father. My baby daddy has a previous daughter. I'm not gonna say her name, but I think she's like 10 or 11. So we hung out. We, they were grown folks who got to know each other. And one day while I was at work, I get a call from his phone. And it's a woman. I'm gonna say her name. Her name is Nika. This is his wife. That's his wife's name. So she calls me and she was like, why was I talking to her husband? I don't remember the exact conversation, but I know I had said something smart because he ended up texting me. At this time I had 3 phones. So he texted my other phone tell her this, tell her that, and all this other stuff. So I was just telling her I don't mess with your husband, whatever like that, because that's what he told me. So I get off the phone with her and then I'm calling him and I'm like, so you're married or whatever like that? And then he was like, no, I'm not married. That's my ex-wife. She's down here visiting my daughter. Because at the time, he was telling me that he was a single father and he had custody of his daughter. So he was like, she crazy and all this other stuff. So after he was saying that she was crazy and that wasn't his wife and all this stuff, we continued our relationship because I'm thinking oh, this woman's lying. She delusional. She crazy. So I'm like, I kicked her to the side. So I thought. So we're going to fast forward past that. So me and her talked again. Me and her will always go back and forth on social media. We'll be arguing with each other. We'll be, just doing little petty stuff. Because I'm thinking girl, she want my man. She wanted her ex back, her ex-husband. Okay, so in the previous video, I told y'all how he had said that he had businesses and homes and a car, like a Range Rover and a truck and a BMW and all this stuff. This is really important because I'm gonna get back to that later, but it's really important. So I also told you how he didn't have a wife. That's another thing. So I told you that she ended up calling me, contacting me. We talked and basically said she was telling me that she was his wife. So this happened over a course of a year of us just going back and forth, and then it comes around to his birthday time. So around his birthday time, which his birthday is in September, I ended up going all out for him, buying him all these clothes, these shoes, some cologne. I had set up a hotel, bought him balloons, did the whole 9 yards, y'all. And he ended up not even, I was blowing up his phone, where you at? Come see me, whatever. Just trying to get him to come and see the surprise that I had for him. So it was he wasn't calling. I had at least called him I would say 30 times a day. Text him about 30 times a day. And no response. So I'm just okay, dang. Maybe, something went wrong because I'm happy to him. So I'm worried. And it comes time. He eventually calls me back. And I'm where you been at all day? Whatever like that. He be I've been busy. My phone broke. I was getting my phone fixed, but I'm on the way. He also said that he needed to go to TJ Maxx to get him some drawers. This is also a very important thing. So he goes to TJ Maxx. He supposedly go to TJ Maxx to get him some drawers and then come see me. He shows up with no drawers in hand. But we get there and it's he don't want to look me in my face. He don't want to talk to me. He don't want to do nothing. And it's also gonna be a little bit of TMI, but we, it came time to do and he couldn't get up or whatever. So the next day we ended up deciding that we were gonna go to Las Vegas? Yeah, Las Vegas. So we go to Las Vegas. Going to Las Vegas. We drove. So on the ride there, I get this text from this number. Come to find out, it's Nika, the wife. She sends me all these screenshots. They talking about sex, and she sent me this long paragraph yeah, he came, and this is not the first time he came, whatever like that. Hopefully I can say that, but she says that. So I'm just so he tries to snatch the phone from me, and I snatch it back so I could see finish reading what I was reading. And then I just get to like hitting him all in his face or whatever like that. Like I'm just decking him in his face or whatever. And this is from his number, by the way. So I'm just decking him all up in his face. And I eventually calmed down. He pulls over and I was like, take me back, take me back. We were already like an hour or something until that drive. I wanted to go back. So he was telling me like her friend is a phone hacker. She hacks my phone and all this other stuff. And I'm just still like hitting him. And it was just crazy. So we end up getting back into the car. And I kind of believed that she hacked his phone because, again, he told me that she was delusional. So, we get to Vegas. He spent all this money on me. He gave me like $7,000. I blew that up in Vegas. And we had went past that. But the only reason I'm saying this because it's going to get important to when it gets to me breaking down all these lies that he told me. I told y'all how we were both in the military. So I am in the military and I am a junior sailor. And he was in the military, but he obviously wasn't a junior sailor. Again, he was twice my age. At this time when we first met, I was 19 and I believe he was 43. So just to put that in perspective. So the point of me telling you this is when me and her talked the first time, he basically said that she wanted to tell our job on us, which me and him were not even allowed to talk just based off, our ranking. So if you're in the military, you know what I mean. Another thing is I want to add 2 people to the story. So I'm going to add a Billy, which is Nika's cousin, and I'm going to add a Shayla, which is Nika's cousin wife. So I told y'all how we were on the way to Vegas and I eventually believed him. I believed him because he called Billy Nika's cousin and Billy vouched for him. So I thought. And another thing is me and Billy would always talk on the phone, but it wouldn't be on my phone. And it would always be on I'm going to call my baby daddy Tyrone. It would be on Tyrone's phone. And I kind of thought that was weird, but I kind of didn't know him like that. And so, we were like talking, chit chat. And, he was even talking to my friend once upon a time. This is also very important. So please keep this part in the back of y'all mind. So let me put this image in y'all head. So me and Tyrone are in the car headed to Las Vegas. I get the message. I start hitting him. He ends up calling Billy, Nika's cousin. Billy ends up vouching for him as in, no, they're not married. They weren't together. She's crazy. She's delusional. This is Billy, Nika's cousin. So I thought. So now that is cleared up, we're going to fast forward to October. So August, when I talked to her, September, his birthday, October. October is when we decided that we were going to get married. So October rolls around. Me and him, we are ring shopping. We're talking about what colors we wanted for our wedding. Like what people we was going to have in the wedding. And at this time, Billy, Nika's cousin, which Nika is the wife, is saying kind of in on it too. So when we do this all October going towards the end of November. Now this is where it gets real juicy. So towards the end of November, I end up going through his phone and I see that he had a trip. He was in a group chat with some people. One of the people being the wife, Nika, and he had a group chat talking about going on a trip for her birthday. Her birthday was in November. I never confronted him about going on a trip until it was like a day or two before the trip. And I was like, do you have something to tell me? And he was basically like, no, I don't have nothing to tell you. So I just, confront Tyrone like, you're going on this trip with her and her people. And Tyrone gets all sentimental and he like, I had paid for the trip a year in advance and that's the only reason I'm going. Baby, if you don't want me to go, I ain't gonna go, whatever like that. But I'm gonna lose all my money. I didn't pay I think he told me he paid like $14,000 for this trip. So I'm like, okay, don't worry about it. I don't want you to lose your $14,000 or whatever. So y'all, let me tell y'all, it's like time for the trip. And you know, I'm still salty. So basically they head to Jamaica and all this other stuff. So I'm hawking this woman page down. When I say I'm hawking her page down, because he told me, like, I'm not going to see her on the trip. We're not sleeping in the same room. You know, we're not going to be around each other. Woo. So I just end up getting mad, making posts like, you know, you with another woman, but you got a girl. You want to trip with another woman, but you got a whole girl at home. Being me. I guess she sees the post and she basically like, I ain't the other girl. I'm the wife. You basically the other girl. So she ends up posting pictures of them taking pictures together. They was on the beach together. They was together, and he told me he didn't even see her on this trip. So he at that point, I'm just 38 hot because it's too much lying going on, and I'm steady catching him in these little lies. So when he get back, I go into full detective mode. I mean, when I say full detective mode, I'm checking that phone every day. But I told her they have a child together. But every time I would check that phone, they would never have any messages. So when I say they would never have any messages, I mean they wouldn't even have one single message. So I could never basically get what I wanted. Although I had those messages she had sent from before, I'm like, oh, his phone was hacked in. So those messages not even true. So I wanted like some evidence that, you know, they were, you know, actually married. So I really could not get that from his phone. And not even to mention this part, because I forgot this part. He flew this woman first class to Vegas, to Jamaica. He took me to Vegas. He flew her first class to Jamaica.
Because that's his wife.
But not even did he fly her first class. Let me get down to the nitty gritty. Me and him had a Jamaica trip planned. And what this man did was the day up that we were supposed to go on the trip, he told me basically the plane had broke down and we weren't able to go because they had canceled the flight, and basically he was getting his money back. So for me, I'm going to say I had packed. I don't know if he had packed. He said he had packed and had his clothes up in the car. So I had packed all my clothes up. I had bought me some new clothes, bought me some new shoes. You know, I had got my hair done and everything. And the plane breaks down. So I'm sad. I'm like, dang, you know, this is going to be our first trip out the country. Like, you know, that was going to be my first time out the country. So I'm just like, dang, the plane broke down. Like, what our luck? You know, just believing him. Because, you know, at this time, he's my man. So I'm believing what my man telling me. Because there's no way my man finna lie about this plane breaking down when he got all these businesses and Range Rovers and BMWs and homes, right? Before I continue to part 4, I wanted to do a quick intermission. Number one, everybody is asking, why did you stay? Why did you believe him and all this other stuff? At this time, me and him were living together. I later found out that we were only living together because he told his wife that he was living on, like, at our job. He did not say that, you know, he didn't tell her that he was living with me. The next thing I'm going to say is I really thought it was self-explanatory, but I am not the wife. My name is Kyla. His wife's name is Nika. There's two different things. I'm not the wife. And the last thing I want to say is I understand that this is a touchy subject for some people, and some people have, you know, past trauma with stuff like this, but that don't mean come to my page and be mean, you know, when I've already been through enough, as y'all can see. Like, it's much more to the story. So that don't mean come on my page and be rude and mean because of your past trauma. You cannot tell me that I knew something that I did not know. At this time, like I told y'all, I was 19 years old. I did not know about looking up a marriage certificate. I did not know about looking up a divorce. I did not know about any of that. I'm going to get back to the part of us living together, because a part of us living together is a big reason why I stayed with him for so long and why I believed him. And another thing I want to say is the reason that I added Shayla and Billy into my last story time is because they also played a big role in the stories. For example, I used to always go back and forth with Shayla and Nika. Shayla being Billy's wife, Billy being Nika's cousin. Everybody is asking me about the wife, and I don't know how she felt. I don't know her side of the story. If y'all want her side of the story, y'all would probably have to request that from her. I don't know
Well, what's her
how she felt at the
TikTok?
time and what she was going through. Like I told y'all in the intermission, he moved out from her. I did not know they lived together. He told me that he lived at our job, so he moved out from her and moved in with me in my barracks room. I'm going to explain a barracks room for people who don't know what it is. A barracks room is something that the people in the military give, like single junior sailors who don't have children. So he moved in with me in my barracks room. So with us living together, why would I think that he's married when we are living together? We are in the same place. I would not think he was married. I know it was a lot of red flags with him going on a trip. But again, we live together. Another thing is people are saying, why did I let him go on a trip? He was already going on a trip. The trip was already paid for. It was like 1 or 2 days before the trip when I had confronted him. And the only reason I waited to confront him is because I didn't want him knowing that I had the password to his phone. So that's the reason I waited to confront him. Now let's kick it into part 4. We're finna really get down to it. So I told you that we had lived together. And this is where Billy and Shayla really kind of comes into play. So I have a friend, and I'm going to call her Kai. So my friend Kai was supposed to be talking to Billy, which is Shayla's husband. Billy is also Nick's cousin. Keep this in mind. So Tyrone comes to me and was like, Billy wants Kai, which is my friend's information. So I'm like, okay. So I send Tyrone Kai's information, like her number, her Instagram, her Facebook, so he could give it to Billy because I'm thinking Billy wanted her information. So next thing I know, my friend is texting Billy, supposedly Shayla's husband, and they have been talking for, texting back and forth for a little minute. So happens it comes to where I want to check his phone one day, and I see that he has all these pictures of my friend Kai in his phone. They have each other on social media. They're liking each other pictures back and forth. They have each other number. And this was just weird to me because I'm like, I gave this to him to give to Billy. And this is kind of also around the time where it's starting to approach for our anniversary. So he basically tells me, like, I can't spend time with you for our anniversary. I'm going to Jamaica with Billy. I also found that kind of odd because I'm like, why all of a sudden on our anniversary you want to go to Jamaica with Billy? So again, as I'm searching through his phone and I see that he has my friend information, my friend name, they've basically been communicating, but all the messages are kind of deleted, so I can't really see what they're talking about. I also am being told that he wants to go to Jamaica with Billy. So as I'm going through the phone, I see that it's this random number in his phone and it's saved under T. So I get to looking at the messages and it was like, hey, it was like he was saying like, you beautiful and all this other stuff. And like the girl was kind of telling him like, I'm pregnant. And I'm just like, so as she's telling him like, I'm pregnant, my tummy hurts and all this other stuff, I just get to like going up. And I'm starting to see like, this number is a Jamaica number, and also they're not even texting on regular phone. They're texting on WhatsApp. Be mindful, these messages are sexual, so I do end up confronting him, and I'm like, who is this you're texting on WhatsApp? He tells me that it's Nika brother that he's texting sexual on WhatsApp, and that's why the name saved is T. So I end up getting the number, I download WhatsApp, and I call her. And I asked her to explain to me what was going on and how does she know him, or I'm going to call her job. She basically explains to me that they met in Jamaica. She is a Jamaican citizen, and I guess they met at the resort that he was staying at with his wife, Nika, on her birthday on a $14,000 trip that they flew first class to. Side note is, I never had any intention to call her job, but I just really wanted to get the information out because, I kept uncovering lie after lie after lie. So not only did I find out that he is supposedly having a wife, I found my friend in his phone, and then again I found the Jamaica girl in his phone. So at this point, I'm just like, it's so much going, and him basically having a wife kind of got pushed to the back of my mind because
she ain't even pregnant yet.
It's 2 more people that I gotta check about. And at this time, I really just break down. I just start crying because I'm just like, what is the problem? Is it me? Like, what is going on? Are you married? Why are you communicating with my friend when my friend was supposed to be talking to Billy? Why are you communicating with a Jamaica girl that lives in Jamaica? And why is she saying that she's pregnant? And he kind of basically deflects the situation, and he ends up taking me out to eat, and he gets me some little things or whatever. So it kind of got pushed to the back of my mind, but it was always still lingering, like I wasn't happy during that time. The only thing that I can say that was true that he did say is that he had a BMW. So the BMW was not even his, it was his wife's sneakers. And I would drive it, and he would drive my car. And so that day, I ended up taking a picture inside the BMW because, we were out on a date. Nika sees it and then makes a post basically like her enemy in her car, something like that. So I'm just like, forget this. You got some explaining to do. So I gave him an ultimatum. I said, you have a week to show me that you are divorced or I'm leaving. And by the end of that week, he had divorce papers in hand with his and her signature on there. So where we left off at is me and him booking a Jamaica trip and praying break it down. So it's like after he came back from that Jamaica trip with her, he was like dead broke all the time, but he was talking this big game like he keep 10,000 in his pocket. Another red flag was he had a very big gambling habit. So not only have a very big gambling habit, but he was supposedly supporting it with all his, his 2 stores or gas stations that he had, and his like homes that he was selling or whatever. And he also said that he owned a water company and had his own like well, and he sold water, and the water was named after his daughter. So a few months passed by, and he just hits me up like, baby, I really need you to do me this big favor. Can you do me this favor? Let me pause right there. So another big thing in our relationship was he supposedly got paid every Wednesday from his 2 gas stations $100,000. So every Wednesday, he said that he made $100,000 from his gas station. I'm gonna say when he called me, it was a Tuesday. No, actually, it was a Wednesday, because he was like, baby, I need a big favor. So I'm just like, what's up, what you need? And he was like, I need $5,000. And I'm just looking around like, $5,000? Like, where the hell you gonna get that from? Because I'm not gonna say I don't have that kind of money, but I'm a big saver. That's the thing about me. I save. He also knew that because he had my bank account information, and he also knew that I was a big saver because he could see it in my bank. So when he asked to borrow the $5,000, I'm gonna say at this time it was like 10:00, so 10 a.m. And then he told me he would give it back to me at 1800, which is 6 p.m. because that's when that big $100,000 came in from his 2 gas stations that he owned. So I'm telling him, I was like, I don't know if I can give you $5,000, but I can give you like $2,000. So I gave him like $2,000, and he was basically telling me like the money was to pay his employees, and he really needed this money because he couldn't pay his employees at the gas station because the people were renovating, and he didn't get to get his money, so the money had got delayed because they were renovating. And I know now it sounds stupid, but at that time it had made like perfect sense to me. Like I really didn't see why he would lie to me because we're in a relationship, so I didn't see why he would be lying to me about something like that. So I give him that 2,000. When I give him that 2,000, he takes it, and then maybe like 30 minutes later, he was like, the video stopped. But maybe like 30 minutes later, he was like, I need another 1,000. And like 30 minutes after that, he was like, I need another 1,000. So we had 2,000. He needed another 1,000. And then 30 minutes after that, he said he needed another 1,000. And then he was like, he needed another 1,000. So we up to 5,000. Although I said I did not want to give him 5,000, he still got 5,000. So we texted for like up to like an hour after that, and then he just disappears on me. So 1800 rolls around, or 6 p.m. rolls around, and I'm just like, I'm texting him, blowing him up like, are you going to send the money? Not trying to buck him, but I was like, maybe, something happened with the store and the employees, and, he's handling that. So maybe that's why he's not texting me back. So I eventually just fall asleep because he never texts me back, and I wake up to not a message. So I was texting him. He didn't text me back. He waited till about 12 p.m. and texted me like, what you doing, baby? And I was like, nothing. Where you been at? Like, what you doing? I ain't talked to you. And he was like, I was talking to my dad. My dad run my store, so I was having to sort this out or whatever, but I'm gonna give you your money today. So the day ends and it comes nighttime, and I never get my money. So I'm asking him about the money, and then he just catches an attitude with me. He was like, I did that for you. I did that for you. Let me also mention that the 5,000 was a loan. This 5,000 was a loan. And that's why he's telling me, like, I did that for you. I'm trying to boost your credit up. This been to help your credit. You steady hassling me about some money, but I'm trying to help your credit. And in my little 19-year-old mind, I didn't know enough about credit to even know, what he was even talking about. So I'm just like, okay, like, I wasn't trying to upset you or nothing like that. I just want to see when I was going to get my money back, because it was a loan, and loans collect interest. So we're going to fast forward to a couple months later, and he's driving my car to work every day. I lived right by the job, so I would walk to work, and he didn't. And he also, supposedly his cars were in the shop, so he had to drive my cars to work every day. He wrecks my car, and then I end up having to send him over $2,000+ to get my car fixed. Number one being people asking like why I'm so dumb and stuff like that, and
we know.
I wanted to say that
Young.
Sometimes,
just young.
I've heard that sometimes when you already have your mind made up and you already have what God, have like, in your head what God already wants you to, what you want God to say is what I should say, that you can't even realize what he's telling you because you already have your mind made up. Another thing is, I really don't want this to happen to nobody, so I understand what y'all saying, and I really hope it don't happen to nobody, but it has happened to me. I am not lying. I have proof. I have talked to his wife, and we have compared notes basically, and we came to the conclusion. I am not here to make nobody feel comfortable. I don't have to apologize to anybody besides her and her child. I did not do anything to y'all. I am not the woman that took y'all husband. So please be nice. So let's get into part 5. And I just wanted to take it back a little bit because I kind of skipped past the Billy situation, and I really want to get this part out. I went back and I wanted to say how I met Billy and why was my friend talking to Billy in the first place. So me and Billy has never actually met in person. We only talked on the phone, and it was not FaceTime. So again, we never met in person. I originally met Billy when him and my baby daddy went on a vacation to my baby daddy's hometown. It was over the phone again, so I really cannot see who the person actually was. He just told me that this person is Billy, Nika's cousin. So fast forward back to Vegas, I again had never met Billy. So I was able to talk on the phone with who God knows who he had put on that phone. But again, I'm assuming that it's Billy, Nika's cousin. So when I say that my friend was talking to Billy and why he was talking to Billy
when me and Billy did talk on the phone, which was Tyrone's phone, he would be on the phone with me like, oh yeah, I hate my wife. I'm only with her because she's a money getter, and that's the only reason I stay with her. And he would be telling how his wife is so dirty, and he can't stand her. He wants him a new girl. So Tyrone comes up with the bright idea, hey, let's put him on with Kai. Kai being my friend. So like I told you, I gave my baby daddy Kai's information. And I guess Kai and Billy, from my understanding, had started talking. So when I found the information in Tyrone being my baby daddy's phone, I was like, I kind of got in my head like, I gave this information to Billy and you got it. And like I said, I didn't have Billy's information, so I could never contact Billy myself. I was always only talking with him through Tyrone, and I couldn't ask him in front of Tyrone because then Tyrone would have hung up that phone. I wouldn't have been able to get no answers.
He was always
I
in his phone,
questioned my
though.
friend. Since everybody's asking that question for friend, I
yourself.
did question my friend. And she could never give me a straight answer. It was always like, well, like she could never give me a straight answer to why they were ever having each other's information or even in communication when they weren't supposed to be. But I really want y'all to remember these particular parts because it gets really important as I go along with the story. I also want to note that if you can't tell right now, Billy is not actually Billy. To this day, I actually don't know who Billy was. But I can say that Billy was not actually Nika's cousin. Who I was talking to was not actually Nika's cousin and was somebody that was playing and pretending to be Billy over the phone to bait me in and basically get me to listen to what he was saying about Nika. So that actually ties into the situation with my friend and basically him talking to my friend and not Billy talking to my friend. That also ties back into him talking about his wife, which he actually never was. That also ties back into us planning the wedding and Billy kind of helping us in a way when he actually wasn't. And this also ties back into my karma because, again, I gave my friend Billy information knowing that he was married with Shayla and she was talking to my baby daddy. So there's karma for you. So now we got past the Billy part and we understand that Billy is not even Billy. And we understand that he's married. And we understand that he was messing with a Jamaican girl. And we understand that he was also talking to my friend. I also want to note this. He did actually pay $14,000 for that trip. That's not a lie. So now my birthday rolls around. My birthday's in January and it's time for me to turn the big 20. I turned 20 and we have this big old trip planned. Like, we've got clothes, we've ordered shoes, we've like jewelry, everything. We have everything planned and we're going on this trip. So the day of my birthday comes around and he's MIA. He's not calling me. He's not picking up the phone. I'm blowing him up. I have packed. I have my clothes on. I'm ready to go. I woke up early just to get ready. I had got my hair done and he's nowhere to be found. My birthday comes and, all day I'm just worried. I'm looking for him because I'm like, we have this trip planned and he's not even contacting me. So it's getting close to approaching like night. It isn't night, but it's past midday, if you get what I'm saying. It's about 4 or 5. And he's like, I've been real busy. Like, we still going. Bullcrap, y'all. He was lying. So he comes over to my place and he was like, are you ready to go? And I was like, yeah. So we lived in San Diego at this time. So he drives me to Texas Roadhouse, and I believe it was Oceanside. It was either Oceanside or Mira Mesa. I forgot which one it is. I really don't remember, but I know we went to Texas Roadhouse. So I just went with the flow. I was like, maybe we're going to eat and then go on the trip. No, that wasn't in his plans. I also wanted to note that he didn't have any bags in the car. So I was assuming that maybe it was in the trunk. You know, people put their bags in the trunk. So after we get done eating, he looks to me and he was like, so what you want to do now? I'm like, what I want to do now? So when he was like, what you want to do now? I was just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I thought we were going this place. I never said I thought we were going this place because, again, I didn't want to, like, bug him and be like, I thought we were going here. So I'm just like, I don't know. And he was like, I got the perfect idea for you. Just wait. Just wait. So we driving, and then he drives to this beach that was like a far distance from San Diego. So we just at this random beach walking. And at this point, I get agitated. So I just asked him, like, I thought we were going out of town. And he was like, I didn't tell you. They canceled our tickets. So we can't go. We're going to have to pick another day. They canceled our tickets. I don't know why. And I also want to put out there, anytime I would question him about either his marriage, about talking to other women, about, you know, certain things, he would get very defensive. He would yell. He would basically deflect it on me as if I'm bothering him or I'm running him away. So that would shy me away from asking questions because, again, I'm not really a confrontational person. I don't handle conflict well. So when he would get in that defense mode and, you know, want to yell and stuff like that, then, you know, I would, like, kind of back down because, like, maybe I'm doing too much. You know what I'm saying? I also want to know why I'm telling all these parts at this time. I'm not even pregnant. So I had went through all of this before I had even got pregnant. So now that I gave y'all a bunch of background, not really all the background because it's much more, but I gave y'all a bunch, enough for y'all to paint a picture and see that, you know, this was his story, this is his life. And in the next few parts, I'm going to skip to when I was pregnant and uncovering how he told the lie. I mean, how I found out he was lying and everything like that. Another thing I wanted to note is that I can tell that some of y'all aren't really watching the videos because, again, y'all are saying, why did I believe him? I did tell y'all that he did have divorce papers. So y'all saying that I could have looked up a divorce decree. I did not know that. But, again, I did ask him for the divorce papers, and he did provide divorce papers. I really should have put that in the beginning because I don't know if y'all going to watch to the end. But, again, please watch to the end because, like I said, he had divorce papers. I also want to take this time out to let y'all know that I have took accountability for my actions and things that I had to play. I am not trying to be the victim in this story. I'm just telling the story how it is. And if that makes me sound like a victim, then I'm sorry about it. But I'm just telling the story of, you know, the events that happened. I wanted to fast forward to me getting pregnant. So I want to say a couple months before I got pregnant, he was like really asking me to have a baby. He was begging me to get pregnant. And I was like, no, let's wait till I'm like 25 or 26. I'm too young right now. And at this time, I'm 20 years old. So he's just telling me, as I'm telling him, no, I want to wait. He's telling me like his daughter really wants a sibling and, you know, she doesn't like have nobody at the house with her. He was portraying to me to be a single father. So he was just telling me it was just him and her at the house. And by this time he had moved out of my house. So him and his daughter was living at their house, supposedly by themselves. So I eventually end up getting pregnant just off the strength of him constantly begging and stuff like that. So I just ended up getting pregnant. At first, he was very excited. He was so happy and, like, was just happy to be having another baby because he had told me this is what his daughter really wanted. So, maybe, like, a couple weeks later, he started changing, like, oh, no, you can't keep the baby. Like, you can't keep the baby. We got to go to the clinic and all this other stuff. So, keep in mind, you know, I was contemplating it. I'm not going to lie, I was contemplating it, but I was just like, okay, you know, maybe this isn't the right time because I also had said it wasn't the right time before I had even got pregnant. So he's steady going back and forth. He wants the baby, he doesn't want the baby. Be mindful at this time, he also had my car. So he was still driving my car. So it comes time to where he was like, you want your car back? And I'm like, yes. So he finally gets me my car back. And, you know, I'm still pregnant at this time. And I get to drive in my car and my brakes not working. So as I see the brakes isn't working, I'm just calling him like, you know, I have to end up putting on like my little emergency brakes and like getting a mechanic to tow it to the shop or whatever. I was calling. He was not answering that phone. He would not pick up for me. So when I tell the mechanic what happened and I'm describing what happened, because at this time I did not know my brakes weren't working. Like, of course I was pushing down on my brakes and they weren't working, but I'm no mechanic. I'm just a girl. So again, I'm just like, something's wrong with my car and my car isn't stopping. So the mechanic ends up going under the hood. I end up going home until the mechanic got done and he called my phone. He was like, somebody cut your brakes. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, who would cut my brakes? I was like, are you sure that it's a cut? Because I was like, are you sure that it just didn't break? Which I had known that it didn't break because I had just got my car, like, I forgot the word for it, but like basically got my car and looked at it and everything was fine. And he was like, no, somebody cut your brake line. So I was calling him that whole day and he didn't end up answering tonight. He was like, what's going on? And I'm just like, somebody cut my brake line or whatever. And I'm kind of just going off on him a little bit because I'm just like, what is going on? Why is my brake line cut? And I'm thinking maybe it was another woman was in my car and got mad at him and cut my brakes. If y'all hear any noise, that's my baby, just a disclaimer. So we're at the part where my brake line is cut. I have yet to go to the doctor as well. Like, I was not going to the doctor, and it was just because I was such in bad spirit. Like, everything was just weighing on me. I was going through stuff with trying to see if he was married. It was also other women. He was talking to other women while I was pregnant, so I had not even been to the doctor yet. And this also comes into play later. So another thing is, I would always drop him off at home, and at this time when I dropped him off at home, I was pregnant. And when I was pregnant, I was sick the whole time, again, because I was not getting any medical, assistance. So I was very sick. And when I'm dropping him at home, I had to throw up so bad, y'all. Like, when I said it was so bad, and I had just finished eating some Wendy's, and I was trying to get out the car and throw up, and he grabs me aggressively by my arms, like, no, don't get out the car, throw up in this bag. And I'm like, wait, why? Like, I gotta throw up. I don't want to throw up in my car. I don't want my car to smell like throw up. And he was just like, no, throw up in this bag. I'm gonna throw the bag away. I'm gonna take the bag and throw it away. Throw up in this bag. And that was so weird to me because I was just like, why do you want me to throw up in the bag? I've dropped him off at home plenty of times. Granted, I've never got out, but I've dropped you off at home several times. Why do you want me to throw up in this bag all of a sudden? Lo and darn behold, y'all. Lo and darn behold. Though my wife lived there. But honestly, I'm getting too far ahead of myself, so give me a minute. So as my pregnancy continues, me and him are still on the ship together. We're still on the ship together. Me and him eventually ends up getting caught up, and we get in some trouble. Since everybody was asking that, yes, I did get in trouble already. And this is the time where I was like, forget it. I'm finna go to the hospital. I'm already caught up. I'm about to see what's wrong, what's going on with me and this baby. So I finally go to the hospital, finally go to the hospital. And they told me, like, you're 22 weeks. And I'm just like, dang, like, I'm so far along. And they was like, do you want to keep it or whatever? And I was like, I'm going to get back to you. So I finally told him, did he want to keep it? And his final answer was no.
22
so
weeks.
with his final answer being no, and I was 22 weeks, we go and get an estimate for how much would it cost to get up, I don't know if I can say that word. And the people were like $1,500, and that was just the estimate. It could have been more depending on what they wanted because I was so far along in my pregnancy. Again, I was 22 weeks, about to be 23 weeks. And I'm just telling him, like, I don't have the funds to afford that. If you can afford it, we can do it. But I just don't have that money. So, if you can pay for it. And he kept saying, I'm going to get the money. I'm going to pay for it. And he never ends up getting the money. But at this time, he's supposedly making $100K every Wednesday, which I just didn't understand why he just didn't pay the money. Hey, friend, girl. I've been sick. My baby been sick. So, girl, I'm sorry. But I'm back. If y'all hear anything, that is definitely Marty. She is so freaking loud. So, hey, baby. But let me put out a couple disclaimers. The negative comments really don't get to me. But what really irks my nerves is that my baby daddy's concubines is coming to my page as if I didn't say he has a wife. Baby, I'm nobody to speak to. Go speak to management. That would be the wife. And y'all gonna get blocked because I'm not about to sit here and go back and forth with a man, girlfriends, when he already got 3 kids, about 3 different women, and a wife. For what? But
so you understand
where we left off at was me being pregnant. So basically, after he cut the brakes, me and him, this is the time when we kind of started really falling off. Like, I basically started to lose feelings. I really had already started to lose feelings once I had found out I was pregnant. And I don't know if it was just like a snap in me, but it was just like, I can't raise no baby with this man. And he would try to like make up for things. Like, he would be so mean and hateful to me. And then he would want to come with like some flowers or a little bit of money when he already owed me well over $7,000 plus, because again, the money that when he breaks my car, the money that he took for me to get my car fixed, he never even got the car fixed. Damn. He would also always be talking to other women when I was pregnant. I kept catching him talking to women, and it was just too much. So yeah, I just ended up kind of losing feelings. We weren't really talking. I went to every doctor's appointment alone, girl. It was just crazy. And another thing is, I know a lot of y'all say what y'all would have done in this situation, but y'all just don't understand what I had been through. I was away from my family, and that was kind of my only friend. I had lost all my friends by being with him. I would be arguing with my friends and stuff, so that was kind of my only friend. That's the person I talk to every day. So if I didn't talk to him, then who would I be talking to? And another thing is, my relationship with God was also not where I wanted it to be at the time, and that's when I started building my relationship with God, I was kind of able to detach from him. So let's kick it back into the story. I ended up moving away, and at this time, I had started getting close with his sister. We're going to call his sister Gorilla. So me and Gorilla would be talking on the phone every day. We would be chatting. She would be inviting me on trips with their family. Like, we having family trips, and she would always invite me. I never end up going because my intuition was telling me not to go. One day, me and Gorilla is on the phone talking, and something prompted me to start asking her questions. So I was like, Gorilla, do Tyrone have these stores? Gorilla was like, no, girl, he ain't got no stores. So I was like, Gorilla, do Tyrone have these sort of cars? She was like, no, he never owned them cars. And so I'm like, Gorilla, is Tyrone married? And she was like, yeah, he's married. So I'm like, Gorilla, why you didn't tell me? And she was like, girl, don't tell him I told you. I really don't want him to know I told you. But yeah, he's married and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, dang, like, me and Gorilla, we cool at this time. I'm trying to hatch up a plan to bring this to his attention. And I just, like, a couple days had went by, and from my knowledge, his wife, Nika, ended up getting a text. I will have her come and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but she ended up getting a text saying, your man is having a baby boo or something like that. She showed me the text, so I know she got this text message. I did not text her. Let me put that in there. I did not text her. We don't know for sure who texted her, but I do believe that it was Gorilla. The reason I believe that it was Gorilla is because her and Tyrone, which is my baby daddy, have such a love-hate relationship, and they talk bad about each other, and they cool one minute and they not cool the next, and they tell each other business. And I feel like Gorilla just wanted to get this off her chest and let the wife know that I was pregnant. I still haven't brought this to his attention that Gorilla told me about him basically having a fake life, about him not having stores, him not having a water company, him not having these cars, him not having none of the stuff that he told me about, and basically him having a wife, which was one of the biggest things. So that day, I think the day that she got text, me and her ended up getting into it on Facebook. I don't remember how, but I will go back and tell the story once me and her talk about it. once we got into it on Facebook, it ended up getting to the point where she was like, text me, and then I replied back on Facebook, was like, you know I can't text you, you got my number blocked. And then she replied and was like, no, I believe she texted me at that time. I think this was Cinco de Mayo, actually. So this was Cinco de Mayo or the day before Cinco de Mayo. And me and her sat on the phone for about 4 hours, I believe. And we're basically comparing notes and, like, you know, we're doing all of that. And she ended up telling me she was going to call me when she got home to basically show me that they were living together. I don't know if I put that in there, but they were living together, although he lied and said, you know, he was a single father. So when she FaceTimed me and walked in that house, why was Tyrone laying on that couch? I could about jump through that phone and start wearing him out. I'm telling you. Where I left off at was she walked in the house and he was laying on the couch. I didn't say nothing. She didn't say nothing. From my knowledge, she went up to her room, or, you know, the room in the house. And that whole night, I was so sick to my stomach. And I already told you I was sick while I was pregnant. But I could not get no sleep. I was sick to my stomach. And I had to go to work tomorrow. And I was so big and pregnant. And, like, my baby was moving. Like, when I say my stress level was up to here, because his sister had already told me. But when she walked in that house and she showed me, that was just like a different feeling. And also at the time, me and him are not even talking like that. I mean, he would text me every blue moon, but he would never be asking me, like, how the baby's doing, how my appointment's going. Like, I would have to tell him, like, I went to an ultrasound today, would you like to see it, or something like that. Like, he would never come and ask me about me and Marley. If y'all hear some heavy breathing, that is my baby. She's still a little stuffy, y'all.
Shout out to the baby.
So that weekend, I had a trip planned to actually go out with my friends and go to the beach. I had not even been out since I was pregnant. I was stuck in the house. I had just moved to a new city. I was still in California, but it was a new city that was some hours away. So I just had a plan to go out with my friends. But that and them being together was on my mind so bad. And they just showed me everything she was telling me was the truth. That trip was, them being together was the truth. Although I seen the pictures. Also, yes, I wanted to answer this question too. I seen the pictures of the trip, right? But he told me that the reason that they took the pictures on the trip is because the hotel made them, and the woman was, like, basically grabbing on him, forcing him to take a picture with her because it was her birthday. So I just started to realize everything that she had told me was true. Like, them having sex on his birthday, the same day that we did something, them being together on the trip. And I basically was like, let me send her this proof that basically I did not know about what was going on and basically what he was telling me. So I started sending her the screenshots, the pictures, the videos, everything, just so she could see, like, baby, I was not trying to be like wrecking wrecking homes, or home wrecking, or whatever the heck it's called, but I was not trying to be that way. So at this point, me and her kind of start talking every day. Like, we kind of start talking every day, basically comparing notes on him, trying to figure out, you know, what was the truth, what was a lie. And I found out so much stuff, like way more than I could even imagine, like all the lies and the deception and him not being a single father. I also wanted to say that he would tell me, like, I'm a single father, my neighbor watches my baby, because sometimes he would come and spend a night with me and his story would be, my neighbor is watching my baby. And I would kind of find it funny. I'm just like, why are you letting your neighbors watch your baby? Like, that was weird to me. She isn't actually a baby. She's about 10 or 11 years old, but still it was weird to me that he would be letting his neighbors watch his baby. So in my pregnancy, I had already had like a hypertension, and, you know, if you've ever been pregnant, you know what that is. I had high blood pressure and stuff like that. So I was just stressed. So I was going to the doctor, really checking on my baby, because it was like I was so stressed. I thought that, you know, I was harming her. And oh my God, y'all, this is so crazy. Nika was so sweet during this time. Like, she would be checking on me every day. She would be calling. She would be texting. Like, y'all, she was like acting like doing what my baby daddy should have been doing, and he wasn't calling. He wasn't texting. He wasn't checking on me or anything like that. In the next part, I'm gonna get to how he found out and how me and him even got back into contact. We left off with, you know, me and her talking, us coordinating, and basically like, yeah, we own him because we own to something. You've been lying. So yes, we at that part, and so basically he's sitting around thinking that me and her don't know nothing. So I am still cool with Gorilla at this time, even though she had been acting phony, not telling me what was up with him. I'm still cool with Gorilla. Cool. So I tell Gorilla, like, yeah, I talked to Nika. And Gorilla was basically on my side at first. I mean, Gorilla is on his phone like, yes, girl, he finna get what's coming to him. And, girl, you need to go find you a man. You need to go have sex with somebody else. Telling me to go have sex with another man, knowing that I'm pregnant with her brother baby. As y'all can see right now, me and Gorilla on the verge of falling out because she acting very phony. But nevertheless, so I tell Gorilla about the conversation that me and Nika had, thinking that she was gonna like keep it between me and her. No, Gorilla go back and tell him. The reason I feel like Gorilla even told him it to begin with, I feel like she was trying to cover her tracks because she knows she had gave me all this information, and I kept it solid with Gorilla. I never even let him know at first that Gorilla had told me all this information. So for her to go back and tell something that I told her, it was very fake to me because I'm like, Gorilla, I thought we was keeping secrets. So I told you how me and her would always be talking. We would be talking for hours and hours. Can't even lie. We would be talking for hours and hours because basically we wanted to get down to the bottom of it. But we got caught, girl. He caught us talking. And one day we was talking for like 4 hours, y'all. He stood outside their house for 4 hours and recorded us talking and got it on record and sent it to Gorilla. So Nika basically had said that Gorilla couldn't fight, or she didn't say that she couldn't fight, but she had basically said like she had never seen her fight. All she seen her do was cry. Oh, y'all, Gorilla had took that to heart, but she didn't take it to heart on Nika. She took it to heart on me. So she was like, "B word, I'm gonna beat you and Nika up," and all this other stuff, just talking crazy at the mouth. And if you know me in person, you know I don't really spitbox like that. I'm gonna say a little some, but I'm not gonna sit here and spitbox with Gorilla, knowing that we live in 2 different states. We live across the country. And Gorilla, you're not whooping me, baby. So this gets to the point where basically this is kind of where me and Tyrone starts to get back in contact. Because I told you he wasn't calling, he wasn't checking on the baby. But about some drama, Tyrone was on it. So me and him get back in contact. And this man was going off on me. I was getting texts from anonymous numbers saying they want my baby to, you know, they want her gone. They were going to kick me in the stomach and everything. I think I still have some of their messages. My next video is going to be about the messages and stuff like that. I'm going to show all of that. It won't be me talking. It's going to be me showing evidence. Because I'm sick of people saying I'm lying. But yes, y'all, he was trying to get his family to
Nobody
fight
can lie
me.
about this.
He wanted Gorilla to fight me. Like, he was basically, and he was also trying to get me basically to turn against Nika, telling me like Nika was saying all this stuff about me to Shayla. Be mindful, Shayla is Billy's wife. So yeah, saying that she was talking about me with Shayla, and she had used me for the information and all this other stuff. And be mindful, whether she was talking about me with Shayla or not, and whether she was using me for the information had to be out because you was lying. And he know he was lying. So, yeah, I told her. But that is when, like, he kind of just started going crazy. He would be talking bad to me all the time. Like, he had never called to check on the baby. He had never called to show up to a doctor's appointment, although most of the doctor's appointment was across the street from his house. Right across. I don't mean a 5-minute drive. I mean like a 5-minute walk. He could have walked there. Not even 5 minutes, though. But he would rather be in some mess, some female mess at this, with me, Gorilla, Shayla. Well, no, Shayla wasn't in this, I don't think. Nah, Shayla wasn't in this. So me, Gorilla, and Nika. Be mindful, they never called Nika with the drama. They never called Nika with the drama. And from what they told me, Nika was with the shit. So they never called her with the drama. They would only call me with the drama. They know Nika way more than they know me. So they was scared to call her. They only called me. So that's when, he would be calling me and stuff. I would be trying to get answers from him. I'm like, why did you lie? Why did you have sex with her and all this other stuff? And he would just be lying. Like, he would not confess the truth to me. He just kept lying. And every time he would lie, I would go and report back to Nika and confirm that this man was lying about these events that took place. And that's when Nika started showing me that when they went to Jamaica, this man had his ring on. He had his ring on like, oh my God, y'all don't understand. When she showed me this man had his ring on in Jamaica, y'all, my heart literally had broke. Like, I could feel my heart outside of my chest. Like, I could literally feel it and see it pumping. Because I'm like, why did you have your ring on if you wasn't married? And y'all want to know what his excuse was? His excuse was that picture was took 4 years ago. Although it's in the same clothes that he sent me a picture with that he had on when he was on the trip. So I was so confused. So this is also when I had started finding out that basically Billy wasn't Billy. I had not known that at first, but then this is when I had basically let Nika know that Billy was the one that was telling me also that y'all wasn't married. And Nika was like, Billy, that's like my brother. They cousins, but they was raised as siblings from my understanding. She like, that's like my brother. Like, nah. Billy didn't do that. And I'm like, no, I used to talk to Billy. Like, I used to be on the phone with Billy all the time. Like, yeah, me and Billy close. Yeah, so this is when me and Billy gets in contact with each other because basically through Nika. And when he get on that phone, I darn knew that wasn't him that I was talking to, because Billy, the real Billy, has a very strong accent and he draws out his words from what I've heard. And when he was on that phone, I'm like, no. This not the Billy I know. This not the Billy that was on the phone with me all the time. Like, no, this not Billy. So that's just another one of his lies that I had to uncover while being pregnant, while being alone, not around family, not around anybody. I was so alone that my higher ups let me go home to have my baby because I had nobody where I lived at. So basically, me and Gorilla, we fought out. And when I say we fought out, I mean we fought out bad. Like, we cussing each other out. Like, we is going at it because like Gorilla was just being fake, and to this day I still can't stand Gorilla because she's fake. But basically Tyrone, he would be going back and forth. Like, one day he would be saying, oh, I want to be together and all this stuff, then the next day he would be going off on me, and he only wanted to be together so he could continue to use me for everything that I had until he couldn't no more. And that's why I say to the young girls that he is messing with, that's coming to my page just looking for trouble, for one, I'm gonna just let y'all know I'm not the one that you want trouble with. And for two, you're gonna get the same results, because for one, you cannot be with a married man and think that it's gonna work. Like, it's not gonna work. And even if he wasn't married, he's just in general not a good person at the moment. Not trying to say that he can't be fixed with God's work, but he's not looking for that right now. So all I'm gonna say is make sure that you keep your head on the swivel when you're around that man. So I want to go to when it was time for me to have the baby. So even before I had my baby, basically, it was time I had to go home because I had no family, and Tyrone, you know, he wasn't helping me or anything like that. So I had to go back home to my hometown to have my baby. So I go home, and it's time for me to go in labor. I had already told Tyrone, like, okay, this is the week that I'm going to have my baby. I already knew the week that I was going to have my baby because they let me know. So when I told him, he's basically bouncing back and forth when he was coming, he wasn't coming. And then his excuse was, oh, Nika was going to tell and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I've already talked to her and she's not even on there. Like, she doesn't even care. So basically, I have my baby and he doesn't even check on us. Like, I had to text him and be like, oh, I had the baby. Like, do you want to see her? So when I let him know, like, oh, I had the baby, do you want to see her? He was basically like, yeah. So, I had sent him some pictures and stuff like that. And he was like, you know, she pretty, the regular, degular. But then in the hospital, he going off about me talking to Nika. And the reason I feel like he was going off is because he never wanted to get a divorce. That man planned on staying with her and basically cheating. I also let him know that I never encouraged her to get a divorce. Like, if she got a divorce from you, that's because she wanted to. Because I never encouraged her to get a divorce. I never lied to her and say, like, oh, he treated me so good and he did all this for me. No, I was blunt and honest with her. And I told him, like, you can ask her. Like, I never encouraged a divorce. And on top of me not encouraging a divorce, she's a grown woman with her own mind. So if she's divorcing you, she's probably tired of you, like I am. So after I had my baby, my mama was there the first day. I had ended up having to have a C-section because my baby heart stopped. Ugh, y'all. Hold on. Y'all had to stop because, baby, I'll get emotional about my baby. What? But yeah, her heart had stopped, and I ended up having to have a C-section, emergency C-section. And y'all, he was like not concerned at all. He was so stuck on the drama, and basically, yeah, like he was just stuck on the drama. But let me rewind a little bit. So me, him, and Nika were on three-way one day. He didn't know Nika was on three-way, but we were on three-way one day, and me and him were talking. And he was basically like, I told you how those fake numbers texting somebody they wanted to hurt my baby and stuff. They were also texting my mama, saying the same thing. So my mama started going off on the fake page and stuff like that. And then he ended up saying something that the not the fake page, but the fake number had said. And I was like, ooh, Tyrone, that was you on that fake page talking about me and my baby like that. And he was like, nah, well, I'm just saying that. And my thing is, I was so glad that Nika was on that phone because she just literally heard him say exactly what my mama had said to the fake number. So let me go back. So like I said, my mama was there the first day, but my mama also had to work. So I was there for 4 days because I had a C-section and my baby had to get like all these things done. So I was just really up there, you know, by myself. Like my mama would bring me some food and, you know, some people would come and check in and stuff. But I was basically by myself, which he was supposed to be there, but he just had every excuse in the book for why he wasn't there.
Maybe he was married.
And that part had really hurt me. Like, I understand that I had got myself into this, and you know, I'm a mom, so you got to be a mom now. But it was just like, you the dad too, and you didn't even show up to the birth. And even afterwards, he was like, he was sending gorilla pictures of my baby out after I had already asked him not to, and I wasn't being bitter, but Gorilla and Tyrone is heavy with the voodoo stuff. They entertain voodoo stuff, and I don't entertain crap like that. And I know that if she really wanted to hurt me, she knew to hurt me through my child. So I was assuming that, you know, maybe she was going to do something with the pictures and take it to the voodoo people because that's what she do.
I'm back, y'all. So where I left off at is me having my baby. You know, let me say this first. I took some time off to really get myself together. I really didn't understand how triggering telling all this stuff would be, you know. So I had to take some time off, get myself together. People were being negative about my story, so yeah. So I ended up having my baby. And people don't understand, it was so embarrassing having your baby by yourself. Like, you in the hospital and you seeing all these people with their kids and their, their newborn baby and their husband or their boyfriend, and, everybody in there supporting them. And it's just me and my mama. And my mama only could stay for one day because she had to work. So after I had my baby, it was honestly just straight drama. And I just want to say that my baby is of lighter complexion, but I am as well. And my daughter dad is of darker complexion. So he was just like, oh, she's light skinned and stuff. But if you see my daughter dad, they have like the same everything. Like, she looks like me, but she also looks just like him. So he was kind of just basically not really wanting to kind of take responsibility. I think just because of the embarrassment that he had went through with, his wife finding out and everything like that. So he was pretty embarrassed. So it was like this one time he had basically told me like he was coming to see her, and he basically tricked me that whole day to me. He was on the way, he got on the plane, he headed there, and radio silence. Like, I don't hear nothing back from him, nothing. I'm sitting kissing and calling, like, are you here? Have you made it? Like, I know you said you were coming to see her. Like, blowing his phone up, y'all. He never texted me back. I went to sleep and everything. Be mindful, I had my baby bags packed. He was supposed to be coming to get her. I had my baby's bags packed and everything. And I know y'all, like, after all he's done, like, you really had hope in him. Like, I really did. And that, when I say that, really had hurt my feelings so bad, because I'm like, wow, you really missed the birth, and then now it's time for you to see her, and you fake like you're coming and you don't even show up. That was crazy to me. And at this time, I'm still communicating with his wife. I'm still keeping her kind of just updated with what's going on or whatever like that. Night, it's kind of hard to explain, but we're kind of still going, exchanging things and stuff like that. So me and him ended up, after getting into a really big fight, because I'm just like, wow, you already didn't show up to the birth, and now you lie about coming to see her and watch her for me and stuff like that. And I kind of was alone during my postpartum thing. I couldn't really get nobody to watch her like that. Like, my mama was working, so I'm just sitting at home in the bed breastfeeding a baby all day long, like, just literally at home. And while I'm breastfeeding, he's just telling me how fat I am, how ugly I am, like all this crap after I just had his baby. And everybody know after you have a baby, you're already feeling a certain type of way. Like, your hormones are all over the place. You're already feeling like, dang, like I got this baby weight. Like, I had a C-section scar. Like, it was just everything. And then on top of that, while I was in labor, I don't know if I said this in the other part, but my daughter's heart had stopped. So I had to have an emergency C-section. The doctors didn't even catch my daughter's heart had stopped. So it was kind of, it was crazy. And then in the hospital, she wasn't able to eat. She was losing weight. And I was just stressed out. And I'm like, the one person that I need to be here at the moment is not here. So that was that, and it was hard to get my milk supply up. It was just everything. So what it all boiled down to is, I'm still here. I'm still happy. My daughter's still happy. I'm a great mom. I take care of her. And, it was his loss. And, I just told him, I hope it was all worth it. All the stuff that you did, all the stuff that you're doing, I hope it was all worth it. And I just wished him the best. So, this is still a current situation. I'm still going through the motions. This is still going on right now. This is not an old story. This is still going on. My daughter is only 5 months old, so
that's the baby.
It's still going on. And I also want to let the haters know, and the people in my hometown know, you cannot spread my business. I am not ashamed of anything that I've been through. If y'all going around saying I got pregnant by an old man, that's not nothing. I did. It's not, nothing I'm ashamed of. I did do that. We'll do it
Old
again,
married
not by
man.
him. But age is nothing to me. So all them rumors being spread, all the stuff being talked, that's nothing to me. I want to say thank you to everybody that listened to my story and that supported my story. And I'm here to answer any questions and anything that y'all have to say. You know, I know the story was kind of all over the place, you know, because it was so much to the story, and it's all took place over a 2-year span. So the story was all over the place. This story was probably all over the place. But it all boils down to I had my baby by myself. He was upset, and that was that. So I'm good.
What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. We back in the confessional, and yes, we staying lit, big dog, man. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. Shout out to my player partner, Lucky Wheels and Deals, man. He keeps it lit. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel, Lucky Nation Station. All right, man. I actually shared this video on the community post, man. Y'all can check out his reaction channel. Hey, man. Hit the links down below. We got HiveMindLabs.com where you can unbig your back. Alright, and if you just have a baby and you got a baby daddy that's talking crap about you, when you start eating healthy and exercising, you can take some super fat burners and use the discount code everydaypj at checkout. Okay? That's what we're gonna do. Now let's get into this crazy situation. Now, what we have here is a classic case of this man, 43 years old, taking advantage of a 19-year-old subordinate in the military. Now, this man is cheating on his wife in the military. So, baby, if you ever want to get at him, that's the easy way. You're not supposed to be cheating on your spouse in the military, okay? That is a no-no, okay? He can be deranked. It's a lot of stuff that can happen to him. For cheating on his wife in the military, okay? And y'all in the Navy, shout out to the Navy. Thank you for your service. Now, we're going to chalk this all up to you being young and dumb, okay? Not a lot of people get that grace, okay? A lot of people don't get that grace on our channel, okay? And y'all go easy on her in the comments, because the last video, y'all went hard on the girl. Ooh wee, she went and cried to TikTok. She went and told, oh, this bald head man is sassy. She wasn't mad at me. She was mad at the everyday people in the comment section. Shout out to y'all, because y'all kept it lit in the comment section. I appreciate y'all for telling the truth, because that's what needs to happen. Some people, the truth hurts, okay? If you got 3 kids and you letting a man who got a woman living with him shoot up your club and talk about you getting married, and then you get mad at me for just watching the story. This is your story. We just watching you be young and dumb. That's all. Okay? It's okay to be young and dumb, but what you also have to do is take accountability. And what this lady did, first off, she said she not blaming nobody. Well, first of all, she did take accountability, but we also must explain. I got babies at the door. I'm over here complaining about her baby breathing all hard. Mine's at the door, crying. I won't in. That's the 1-year-old. No, you can't get in. You got that that baby door knob. You gotta push the little thing to turn the door knob. No, can't get in now, sucker. I'm just playing. She all good though. The big one can though. But you know, when a woman reaches out to you and tells you that this man is married, the thing is not to question the woman about him being married. Question the man. She didn't know to look up the marriage certificate online, because you got to just find out what county they got married in, and you can find that out, or hire a private investigator, or whatever you got to do. But yeah, man, leave that alone. It ain't that hard. It's really, if I was to date a girl and somebody reached out to me and was like, she married, immediately Immediately. I ain't doing it. Nah, chick, you gonna get me killed. Some married husband is gonna be after me, and I ain't playing that. We not playing them games, okay? Somebody gonna knock somebody off over marriage, even over being a boyfriend and girlfriend. But you completely ignored it. You ignored every sign. Ignored the vacation. And yeah, okay, he paid for the vacation a year and a half ahead of time that he was going on with his wife. And you was like, oh, okay. He was telling you, oh, we're not gonna be together, but she's showing you different on Facebook. See, the wife, that's who we need to have a talk with. The wife is the dumb one. Girl, this nigga done had 3 different kids on you. She probably about to divorce him now. But he done had 3 different kids on you. He living with other chicks. He currently lying to other chicks. Got him driving your car. And you beefing with this chick on Facebook? Girl, what is you doing? He 43, you gotta be in your 30s. Or your 40s. You gotta be up there. To be dealing with this crap, I wonder what she doing. We gotta find the wife. I know we ain't gonna go looking for her. I'm pretty sure she's in the comment section somewhere in one of these videos. People calling her goofy. Girl, you actually believe this man? Yeah, they believed every bit of it. Believed every damn bit of it. I don't know how. It's amazing how somebody could believe all this mess. But, so, I just want to say that, you got a beautiful daughter out of it. You still young. You got a lot of growing to do. You learned a tough lesson. Now you're a single mom forever. Okay? Because that man will never come back to you. He never planned on leaving his wife. Ever. Why would he leave a woman that's going to accept a man cheating on her? He has no reason to leave. The wife contacting you to give you information and y'all exchanging notes is crazy on the wife's behalf, not on yours. Sister, you was just young and stupid. And not in a bad way. He was manipulating you. He lied to you. He did all this. He wasn't a narcissist. He was a manipulator. He was a liar, a pathological liar. He lied about stupid stuff that could be debunked. You, more than just naive and not all to your fault, you don't have the experience. But now you got a little bit more experience. There's enough women in these comment sections that been cheated on enough to, girl, you need to check this next time or check this next time. Okay? I bet next time a woman come to you and tell you, oh, he married, you better not fall for that again. Okay? That's it. That's all I'm saying. Do better. Learn. Tough pill to swallow. One day you're going to have to explain this to your daughter. And, somehow she going to have a relationship with her daddy and the stepmama. Because she not going nowhere unless she divorced him. She ain't going nowhere. She with him. She done put up with all that cheating. She need them benefits. She want them benefits. She want that alimony. So you're not getting that, sister. So just get your child support and call it a day. Everyday people, let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna holler at you later. Peace.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as fast as 1 week.